Hey guys, the Commander Casual. We're playing Kynaios and Tiro Meletis Epic Experiment Storm deck. And I think we're going to keep this hand, mostly just because it has a Chromatic Lantern in it, which makes the lands, and 3 lands, which is nice. And that gives us access to all of our colors, and we can play our Kynaios and Tiro Meletis on turn 4. So we're going to keep this. We're playing against Meren of Clan Neltoth, who's one of the experienced counter commanders. It's all graveyard shenanigans. Ulrich of the Crowlin Horde, which is the werewolf legendary. So I'm willing to bet that this is a werewolf tribal deck. And Damia, Sage of Stone, which is probably a salt high value deck. Oh, white border. Blah. And the artist's name is like right there. I don't like that at all. Bizarre Baghdad. Draw 2, discard 3. Interesting. Yeah, so the point, in case you haven't seen my deck tech or previous games with this deck, the whole point of the deck is to build up a big mana base and kind of play it cool with Kynaios and Tiro looking like a group hug deck, and then hopefully cast a really large epic experiment and kind of storm off, and then win like that. This guy with his bizarre discarded a Phyrexian Delver, which just brings, it's a reanimator creature. That's such a weird art for it. I guess it's the old one. A Massacre Worm, which is a big, gross board wipey beastie, and Gerard, Golgari Lichlord. So that's kind of a scary 3, because having those in his graveyard is kind of nasty. Meren lets you, I think it's at your end step. Yeah, you get to, you target essentially a creature card in your graveyard, and you can either, if you have enough experience counters for its converted mana cost, you put it onto the battlefield, and if you don't, it just goes back to your hand. So he really doesn't have anything to lose by discarding creatures. Although, Meren is really strong, so it usually gets hated off the table a lot. And Ulrich fights stuff. So that's a source of removal for this scroll deck that might help with that. And then Damia is probably just fairly rich with removal spells. They also played a Primal Amulet, which is one of the new Ixalan flip cards. We're running one in this deck. It just makes your instance and sorcery cost 1 less, and then if it has 4, every time you cast one, you get a counter. And after 4 counters, it flips into a land that gives you 1 of any color, and then if you use it on an instant or sorcery, it copies that spell. So I don't know if we want to play our commander or Rashmi first. Rashmi gets his extra cards and possibly spells, but I don't know if that's a great idea right now. Alhamrat's Archive for this player. If you gain life, you gain twice that much life. You draw a card, you draw 2 cards instead. Game Trail. Cultivate for the Ulrich player. So what's Ulrich do? Whenever he enters the battlefield, you can pump something, and then he flips like the regular werewolf condition. And then when he transforms, you can have him fight a non-werewolf you don't control. Okay, that's interesting, I guess. I don't know. I think they should have just made like this guy the non-legendary and made Huntmaster of the Fells the legendary, because he's the other red-green mythic werewolf, and he's really good. But I like Huntmaster of the Fells a little bit better, I think. But I've never played against an Ulrich deck, so let's see how it goes. He's not super popular, all things considered, despite the fact that he's the only werewolf. I think people just don't like the conditions that make the werewolves flip, because you basically have to not cast a spell, because it's not like anybody else won't, to get them to turn into werewolves, and then tons of people cast 2 or more spells in a turn. Like this deck will do that a lot. So I think we're going to play our commanders on turn 4. This guy's bizarre Baghdading again. Last time he did it, he put a Shieldred, the Whispering one, which is the Black Praetor, a Spore Frog, Skullbriar the Walking Grave, Caustic Caterpillar, Toxic Deluge, and an Eternal Witness. This is a very scary, scary graveyard, and we don't really have any graveyard removal in this deck. So that's worrisome. And we're gonna brainstorm. Put 2 back, right? Oh, none of that is lands, so that's unfortunate. What don't we want? Gonna put back our hunting pack. And our Ignite Memories, I guess. You could Prophetic Bolt. No, we can't Prophetic Bolt next turn because we won't have a land. Never mind. Yeah, so I guess we'll play Kynaios and Tiro and try to get through those other cards. And then try and ramp with Nisa's Renewal. We really would have loved to see like a Soul Ring in this hand just so that we could get to that Nisa's Renewal faster, but that's okay. Slither Muse. Use the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player has more cards in hand, then you draw cards through there. So like there's a very heavy card draw theme here, which is kind of weird considering the commander takes care of that for the most part. I've played Damia as a commander before, and it's a really nice just Sultai value commander because you've got a 4/4 Death Toucher that you can leave back on defense in case something really big swings your way. But the fact that it just like fills up your hand every upkeep is awesome. Like you basically just run the staples of the colors. So you run green for the ramp, you run blue for the card advantage and counters, and then you run black for the tutors and removal. And then you just have good stuff within those colors creature wise, and then you just slowly outvalue everybody because you play as many cards as you can in the turn, and then you just fill up your hand again the next turn. I don't really get why this guy has a bunch of... I guess I understand the Alhammer's Archive because it draws him extra cards off the Damia trigger, but the Slither Muse seems out of place. Buy you for this guy. Pernicious Deed. I like that art on Pernicious Deed. That's cool. Yeah, so board wipe, he can just activate whenever. Is it X or less? Yeah, X or less. This guy played a Daybreak Ranger, so I'm fairly confident that this is a werewolf deck. I mean, I was already pretty confident, but I'm gonna guess Kynaios and Tiro. Kynaios. And green with the sun. Boom. Commander. We're not really worried about helping these other people draw cards and ramp because like you can never know for sure, but it's very unlikely that we'll be a target for all these people. Well, we're gonna have to discard a card. What do we discard? Can't put a land on the battlefield, but we did draw our hunting pack. I guess I might discard the right. Maybe Prophetic Bolt. I don't know. We don't have a lot of removal in here, so I kind of want to hang on to that. It also gets us cards deeper. Oh, this is a tough call. Let's go with the right. The reason I'm struggling so much, like, obviously Grape Shot would be an easy discard here, because it's, you know, like it's not a super strong card, it's just hilarious in the Storm deck. The reason I don't want to discard it, though, is because I don't want to give away what we're doing. Because I feel like this deck would play very differently if you played with, like, a regular paper group. Like, I have a couple, like, I have a paper group that I play with fairly regularly, and this is a deck I thought about doing in paper, because I do have a lot of the cards for it already. But I don't think I want to, just because a lot of the value in the deck comes from the commanders and the kind of the image they give off. So people don't really understand what you're doing. You kind of just sit back and develop this mana base, cast ramp spells and stuff. You just get picked out a little bit. But usually how it goes is either like you're kind of left alone to your own devices while other people like build up and attack each other or try to combo off and whatnot, and then they all sort each other out while you just sit and do your own little thing, right? And then you eventually you get this massive like epic experiment off, or you just storm off really hard in a turn. And some people might not find that super interactive, and fair enough, like it's not super interactive until it's completely interactive. But I find this deck super fun. But again, I don't think it would play the same way in a paper format. So with this you can ping a flyer, or when it flips, they can fight something. I love the art on all the werewolf cards because they always show like a parallel between them. I'm a huge fan of the Innistrad plane lore-wise. Like I loved Innistrad, Dark Ascension. Avacyn Restored was meh. Just because I like all the kind of evil things that are on Innistrad. I think the werewolves are really cool. I love the zombies. Big fan of zombies. Yield to that. No one casts spell last turn, so he's gonna flip into Nightfall Predator, which gets +1/+1 from this. Oh, and it does trample too. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. It's just a little werewolf anthem. Okay, so we got a ritual, so we could ritual into Prophetic Bolt, but I really don't want to do that because then we're kind of giving away what it is. Like if we play a ritual, like you wouldn't run this unless you were running like a storm style deck. So I don't really want to give that away. So I think we're just gonna play a Rashmi because it looks like a regular value card, right? Yeah, tap the mountains for blue. I'm gonna tap the island for green, just to irritate anybody who might be watching that is bugged by that. Deal with it. Play a Rashmi, so now we can start hopefully drawing some extra cards. The only thing with the Rashmi is it might kind of give away our strategy a little bit if we reveal a card that is like a storm card or something. But we're just gonna have to risk it for the biscuit. We're a little behind mana base wise, which is really weird for this deck. That just about never happens. And we didn't get a land off the K&T trigger. That's unfortunate. So if we draw a land next turn, oh yeah, we have to discard. I'm gonna discard a Telrund. Because Rise from the Tides is... I don't know if that was the right call, but that's what I want to go with, because again, it doesn't really give away what we're doing. Yeah, it shows that we cast lots of instants and sorceries, but Telrund's more of a value card than anything. I guess so would Rise from the Tides. Oh, this guy gets to cast Anis's Renewal. That's fine, I'm not upset about it. It's not like we have one that we want to cast and can't yet. Just kidding. That's exactly what position we're in. This guy isn't really doing anything yet. He also hasn't Bizarred again. So maybe he's got like a flash thing. Let's go Strip Mine. This guy actually spends some money on stuff. Because he's got a lot of foils. Actually, I don't know if the foils are cheaper in MTG, but he's got a Strip Mine, a Bayou, this Bazaar. I know, I think is worth a fair amount. At least in paper, it's worth a ton. Eternal Witness. Pretty sure Shieldred and Massacre Worm are decent. I don't know about Gerard, but there's a lot of foils as well. Does this slip back? Did they cast 2 spells? Oh, I guess they did. Kind of a cool bow it's got there. It's like a gun kind of bow, I think. It's neat. It's like, I guess that makes it like an upright crossbow, but whatever. Beastmaster's Ascension. Which can get a little scary. But yeah, this is obviously just like a girl beatdown deck. Kessig Wolf Run is very scary as well. Especially like late game, because it's literally just like, I'm just going to dump all my mana into my creature and give it trample. And then punch you in the face with it. Ulrich's going to enter, so he's going to pump probably the Ranger. Oh no, Nylea. Nylea doesn't have trample though. I don't know if he knew that. I feel like he's going to attack this guy here, but it's two counters on Beastmasters, which I believe it needs 7. Yeah, 7. Beastmasters is so scary though, because you can play it, and if you have 7 creatures on board, you attack with all 7 of them. They immediately get +5/+5. Like it's pretty terrifying. It's I think it's probably like one of the best Anthem effects, even though you kind of have to build it. Like I guess like Collective Blessing and stuff, you can just play and all your things get +3/+3. But I don't know, if you're doing the go wide strategy anyway with Anthem style effects, it's not that hard to have 5 creatures to attack within a turn, or 7 creatures to attack within a turn. So, and it's only 3 mana. I really like Beastmaster's Ascension. It's a really strong card. Yeah, he's just laying into this Meren player because they know how scary Meren can be. So even though they don't really have anything on board other than the Pernicious Deed, right? We've got our Rashmi and our Kynaios and a Chromatic Lantern, and I guess yeah, we're a little behind on lands, so they'll be like, meh, they're not important. But this is the kind of effect that we wanted with Kynaios and Tiro, is that like people don't have an incentive to attack us as long as we don't give them one. Because they're like, I need to get rid of this player more than I need to get rid of Kynaios and Tiro. They're just going to help me anyway. I love this art on Prophetic Bolt. I love the old art on Prophetic Bolt too. But this one with Relzeric doing stuff, yes, that blows up our stuff. Oh, our Chromatic Lantern going is really bad. I didn't even think of that. That's brutal. I guess this guy's going to target me and draw a card. Yeah. Oh, that's so brutal. Can we at least draw a land here? Okay, we at least got a land. Can we... I guess we Ritual here, just so that we can Prophetic Bolt. Oh, I don't like this at all, but we need to get deeper into our deck. Yeah, we're just going to hit this guy in the face. Because I really don't trust Meren, especially with those cards in his graveyard. This card's just, oh, that's our cards. Ooh, I'll take the Temple. Or do we want the right? The rest go on the bottom. I'll take the Temple. Let's go on the bottom of the library. Okay, well, we've got our white source. And a land itself. And that'll let us scry as well, so we can hopefully scry into another land. So we're not in that bad a shape. Did this... Oh, this Meren player just conceded. That's pretty... I really dislike it when people do that. Because you wouldn't do that at like a table game, right? You'd be like, no, guys are picking on me because I have a really strong deck, or I'm running a really strong commander, and then you wouldn't just get up and leave, right? Like, they're only just below their half their starting life total. Never seen this art before. Skyshot Forest. Yeah, I haven't been checking the chat, but I guess you guys might have been reading. It took so much to pop that. Should have waited. I wanted my amulet land. I didn't want to have all my creatures out and then him pop it. Drawing the hate. Well, his graveyard was getting nasty. I don't know what he expected. Yeah, that was ready of him to leave. Like, you wouldn't do that in a table game. Like, it's one of the reasons that I dislike MTGO a little bit more, is you get so many people that leave, or like, they leave when they think they're going to lose, which changes the pace of the game a lot. So like, in the example that like, let's say I had like a huge board developed, and this guy had a huge board developed, and he went to like, he just played or just activated like his Beastmaster's Ascension, or like played like a big Anthem spell or whatever, a Craterhoof Behemoth. And then this guy was like, oh, he's going to kill me, and just left. Then instead of that damage being split between him and him, or him and like the rest of us, instead of that damage being split, like he's now out of the game, so he now no longer has to use the power to kill him. So then that power is now split between two people, and it alters the flow of the game, right? Because that could stop you from getting an extra turn, or like that could be like his big stroke, but then he wouldn't have, he'd die on the crackback. But if he only has to put the damage into 2 players rather than 3, or 1 player instead of 2, it can be really detrimental. Put that on the bottom and hope we top deck a land. And we're just gonna do that, because we can't play our commander yet. I really hope we top deck a basic, or like a command tower, just an untapped land, so that we can use his renewal. This afflicted deserter flips. I have this creature transformed into werewolf, ransack, and we destroy target artifact. That artifact's been in the graveyard this way. Deals 3 damage to target. Okay, so when it flips, you get to smash to smithereens. That's kind of cool. Let's play this full moon, which gives werewolves +1 and +0 and trample, and you can sack it to regenerate your werewolves. This werewolf deck's running pretty well. I'm impressed by it. I just never done a werewolf deck, despite the fact that I think it's really cool. The tribe I took from Innistrad was zombies, because it is by far my favorite tribe. But I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that the werewolf deck is running pretty well. Because what I mean about this Keswick Wolf run right now is this guy could literally dump all of his mana into it and smash somebody for like 12 here if he wanted to. But he's just going to smash somebody for 10 instead, because he's going to play Ulrich, pump it, and then attack. As he should, I guess. But see, it's going to come here instead of us. Now, this guy also has way more mana than we do, so that's a huge thing. But there's no reason for him to attack me right now. This guy's going to play an Illusionary Ambusher, block, and draw 10 cards, which is ridiculous. Because you draw a card for each damage. Oh, it just takes the 1. Okay. Oh, because the trample. Right, the rest of the damage just goes over the top. Yeah, we got untapped land. That means we're going to renewal. Gain a little bit of life, ramp some cards. Also thin lands out of our deck, which we always want. We are running a Mana Severance in here, which literally just lets you go through your deck and exile lands, as many lands as you want. And that's just so that our Epic Experiment can be bigger, and it only costs 2 to play. So if you have it in your hand with Epic Experiment, you might as well cast it, exile the card or lands in your library if you have enough to really go off already. Because you just like, it just makes your Epic Experiment that much bigger when you're not hitting lands, because just about all most of the cards in our library at least are sorceries or instants. So it should hit just about everything, except for like the occasional Chromatic Lantern or Rashmi or Riku or Talrind, or like a couple kind of sidekicky style cards. So anyway, we're back on track now because we have more mana. Just gotta find our Epic Experiment, or find some good Stormy style cards. Like if we got like a Mana Geyser, we could start going off with that. This guy's grabbing a Slitherbees. I'm so confused what his deck does. Like even with the cards in his graveyard, it's just like, so far it's just ramp and cast stuff, but he hasn't like done all that much. Like, it's just, I want to draw cards, and that's all I want to do. But whatever, to each their own. He can build his deck however he likes. So this guy's going to flip back, because this guy cast too. Or did this guy suspend a Curse of the Cabal? Being each player's upkeep, if Curse of the Cabal is suspended, that player may sack a permanent if she or she does put 2 time counters on Curse of the Cabal when it Target player sacks half the permanents he or she controls rounded down. That's horrifying for us. Oh, that's such a painful card. I like it though because it's political, but that's super bad for us. I guess he's okay with trading this guy. Yeah, so he's gonna. What the reason you have cards like Nylea and Kessig Wolfrun is so you can dump your mana into. I'm kind of surprised seeing Kessig Wolfrun, which means you must have another card to play. I guess not. Because he wanted these guys to flip, and that was obvious. And now he can fight this Slither Muse. I'm just gonna yield to this guy flipping. I'm gonna yield to that guy flipping. And we're gonna say no to this because it's still got two things on it. And we're gonna yield to the Ulrich uncontested alpha trigger. It's got real short legs for such a big upper body. I'm gonna yield to this just in case it comes back. No, thank you. So we just play our commander here. And we'll play our gutter snipe, I guess, since try and set up. This guy is still obviously threat number 1 to this guy, so I think even if we play our gutter snipe, it shouldn't bug him too much. It should start to be obvious that we're like an instant sorcery deck to these two guys by now because of our Talrend and our Rashmi and stuff. And Pyretic Ritual. I don't know why that card took so long to resolve. It's not that weird. There we go. And we'll play our gutter snipe too. I don't know why this guy left his mana up. That might have been like a punt, or he maybe has something with flash. But he should have just wolf runned and smashed this guy for more damage. Or pumped more. I guess he's leaving the mana up for a reason. Now we get to draw a card, and hopefully it's a land, so we get to ramp. Frantic Search. I'm not upset about getting that, because that lets us get deeper and possibly start off a Storming Chain. So. Plus we can also start, luckily we have our Rise from the Tides and Hunting pack, which are 2 of our big token generators, so we can start doing that so we can deal with this. Oh yeah, we cast 2 spells so these guys flip back. Yeah, we'll start getting in some gutter snipe damage next turn as well. Okay, so much health. Just remember, I could have hard casted Curse at you. Try to play nice. Sometimes. You have the most health. I know. I barely brought you down to his level. I only hated the other guy to make him pop his board wipe, and he was getting ready to pop off. LOL. Pop, pop. I hope somebody who's watching this has seen Community and gets the, I think his name's Magnum, or whatever the goofy guy that just says pop pop over and over again is. Oh, this is big mana. Is that a Villainous Wealth? I really hope not. Or at least I hope it's not targeting me, because it'll completely out me and also serve as an epic experiment for this guy. Oh, I knew it! Oh, he hit me with it. This is bad. This is bad. This is very bad. Well, at least he won't get a Mind's Desire. Mana Geyser, Explore, Desperate Ritual, Cyclonic Rift, Chaos Warp, and a Beacon of Immortality. Crap. Did he seriously hit that many lands with it? That's brutal. He had a ton of lands. That's lucky for us. He actually didn't hit any of the like serious combo pieces, which is kind of neat. Thunder. So he's got 11 billion red mana if he can do anything with it. And he doubles life total. Oh nice, Villainous Wealth. Because it doesn't copy them and exile them like Mizzix Mastery does, it does actually put them in my graveyard. So not only can we get some recursion out of it, but our Rise from the Tides now also creates like a bajillion zombies. So by a bajillion I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which I'll take, because if we have to sack half of our permanents and we have 10 or 20 permanents, I'm okay with sacking 20. Oh, he did it. This actually didn't give too much away about what my deck does. So that's awesome. And I mean, we have a ton of our Storm cards in our hand, so I guess that means when we do get Epic Experiment, it won't be that epic, because we won't get to Storm very well with it. Especially now that our Mana Geyser's been hit and we're down 2 rituals, but hopefully we'll get something interesting. We might just have to storm off the old-fashioned way. Without Epic Experiment, just doing it in our hand. But I'm happy that this guy sacked a thing. Hey, oh, I was gonna say, are you fighting my shit? But it won't kill it unless he pumps it. No, we're not gonna yield to that. I almost auto-yielded to that. No, we're not going to sack a permanent, because I don't want to. Okay, so we're going to frantic search here. And see what we get. That's a storm count of 1 as well. I'm going to pitch this. And the land. Okay, so nothing gained. But we ventured. I suppose I could play a Gutter Snipe and a Rise from the Tides. Right? Yeah. Or I could Gutter Snipe and then try and Mind's Desire for like 3. It's just kind of the worst. So I think we're going to Gutter Snipe and Rise from the Tides. I'm wishing I Gutter Sniped before we Frantic Searched, but the thought occurred to me. I just chose not to because I didn't know what we'd want to use our mana for yet. So now we're going to Rise from the Tides. Don't care what that taps for. Well, at least deal some damage. And we get zombies. And we're gonna pass, because we don't want to attack anyone. Nice, love that card. 1207. Yeah, I guess he's... Ew. We got a Devil's Play. Okay, so we could burden somebody out a little bit, I guess. We'll probably Harmonize next turn. I like the art on this card, and I know that it's Garruk, but it doesn't look like Garruk. I know he's got his axe and he's got the tattoo. Like, it does look like it's made to be Garruk, but his face looks really wrong to me. It doesn't look like the other Garruks I've seen. I know he's not wearing his helmet either, but yeah, I don't like it. As I said, I like the art. I just don't like that being Garruk. Garruk's one of my favorite planeswalkers lore-wise, just because he looks like such a freaking beast. And is basically just a beast now, because he's kind of lost his mind. But it's not his fault. He got cursed by the Chain Veil. He didn't want this. It just happened. Hornet Queen. Gross. Such a defensive card competitor. I really like the card. But it's honestly like, and I like it because it affects the table so much. And then it's just like, well, I don't want to attack this guy at all now. Elixir of Immortality. I'm not really sure what this deck is supposed to do. It's kind of dirtily. Maybe it literally is just a Villainous Wealth deck. That was his big thing. Just gonna Ancient Grudge that. The guy didn't. Oh, I guess it casts, or he takes 2 to activate. I was gonna say he didn't activate it in response. Nice flavor though. Love that. The Ancient Grudge, which is the werewolf destroying stuff. Fitting. Not that Ancient Grudge is at all a bad card, and I think it's in my like Rada Voltron deck. But I don't know why you'd really, in most cases, I don't see why you'd run an Ancient Grudge when you can run a Vandal Blast. Wanderer's Twig. Sack, search your library, basic land, reveal, put it into your hand. That's such a, I've never seen that card before, I don't think. It's just some land fixing, land search, basic land search. Reckless Wave, which turns into a Merciless Predator. Those guys are just gonna sit, and here's this Cabal thing, but I don't have to pay it yet. No, I don't want it. Boundless Realms. Ooh. So we want to do that this turn. This guy's got 1 blue up. I don't love that. I'm going to be mad if he'd spell whatever's me. I guess we tap that. We're going to always yield to our Gutter Snipe. Now we get to ramp a ton. And we could Grape Shot for 2. Boom. Actually, we could do that to get rid of 2 bugs, or the Reckless Wave and a bug. But that doesn't seem very good at all. So we get 9, so we basically get like just about all these. Take me a sec to select them all because MTG likes to load everything slowly. I'm just gonna go down the line like this. If we don't get the planes, it's not a very bad thing because we have a white source, and our only 2 white cards are our Commander and Beacon of Immortality, which did get shuffled back into our library, but. Okay. We could also Devil's Play for 1 if we wanted to. But again, that doesn't seem smart. Maybe we'll Grape Shot. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, let's do it. For the heck of it. We're gonna get rid of 2 of his bugs. Target another bug. Yeah, we only get the Gutter Snipe trigger off the original cast, which is fine. I knew that was how Storm worked. Let's attack him, Reaper. Do we want to keep any back? We got lots of health. Go for it. Oh, you're supposed to both attack him, Reaper. Whatever. Charge! Wait, is there something in our graveyard that I could have been casting that I didn't notice? No, not yet. Okay. Oh, he's trading. He's just trading all of them. Okay, you have so much life. You're trading zombies. I mean, he's not with Damia, obviously. But, I don't know, that seems super weird. These guys are just talking about how they love certain cards. I'm pretty sure they were talking about my Boundless Realms. Or no, before they were talking about something else. Yeah, whatever. We drew an Aether Flux Reservoir. Okay. So we've got like pretty much all our Storm stuff. Just not our Epic Experiment. And we want our Storm stuff in our deck for Epic Experiment. So I think I'm going to cut that Mana Severance, because I'm always just like too lazy to cut all the lands out of my deck, like by using it. Because you have to like literally click through every land, and you don't even get them like you do a Boundless Realms. And replace it with like a Winds of Change, so that if I find myself in this situation where I'm like, oh no, I've got a bunch of Storm cards in my hand, I can shuffle them away with Winds of Change, and hopefully draw like an Epic Experiment, and then hopefully storm into these cards. So, because there's like, it's gonna be hard for us to cast an Epic Experiment and then a Mind's Desire or a Hunting Pack or Ignite Memories, because we have to leave a bunch of mana up, but we don't want to do that. The whole point of the deck is to dump as much mana as we possibly can into a huge Epic Experiment and just combo off from there. I mean, we're in pretty good shape for that as is. Just because when we do it, we're going to get all those Gutter Snipe triggers on everything we cast, which will do a ton of damage. But another thing that's nice about it is you can be like, oh, I'll trust to do that, and I've got my trusty Ignite Memories in hand, and you just assume you'll hit Rituals or like a Mana Geyser, and then you'll have enough mana to do this again even afterwards, because you'll generate the mana by Epic Experimenting. But we've already hit 2 of our Rituals. Well, we hit 1, and then Villainous Wealth hit 2. Because the Villainous Wealth, this guy essentially functioned as our Epic Experiment. He just like, he didn't whiff, but like for our deck, he whiffed. When this dies, we discard our hands. I'm not a fan. If he sacks this right now, I'm going to be super upset. Because I don't want to lose my hand. I guess we'll have our Devil's Play still. What did he cast? Necromantic Summonings. Targeting Hornet Queen. It's just like Rise from the Grave, but it puts counters on it with Spell Mastery. Okay. That's why he chumped everything then, because he had that in his hand and he was okay with that. And now, I guess if we attack with the zombies, he can't actually kill his own Mind Slicer. Instigator Gang, which turns into Wild Blood Pack. Attacking creatures get +1/+0, and then it flips. Attacking creatures get 3/3/0 and trample. Damn. Sorry, it doesn't give trample. It has trample. Did he do the Excel thing on this? He did. Okay, then we're gonna just keep leaving that to him then. I'm alright, thanks. I'm greedy. So we could harmonize here and see what we draw, or we could just start like dumping these cards and just trying to go off with what we have. I don't love that though, because we're gonna get like, one of these cards is gonna be like a single storm, and the other's gonna be like a 2 storm count, and then like 3 storm count, and that's gonna be just cruddy. So we're gonna harmonize. We can play the long game with this deck, so we'll just slowly start to burn these guys out with Gutter Snipe. And we're going to draw 3 cards. And our 3 cards are Metamorphose, Vandal Blast, and Regrowth. Okay, so Vandal Blast is, Metamorphose is great because it basically just gives us an extra free storm count, because it gives us 2 mana of any combination. It only costs 2. And it also draws us a card, so it replaces itself afterwards too, which is just awesome. So, super happy about that. Regrowth is great because we could get something back. We're not going to get our Boundless Realms back because we don't have any. We have like 1 or 2 basics left in our library. You get a Rift. Really piss some people off. We could get a Geyser. That might be the play. Because we can Geyser and then Metamorphose. Mind's Desire. Get some Hunting Pack action in. How many tap lands are there? A lot. So we definitely benefit from Geysering. So let's regrow. Targeting. Oh, is there a better one though? Not really. We're gonna Mana Geyser. Because we'll have a lot of mana to work with then. And every spell we cast, we just get to keep burning people with Gutter Snipe. Advisor. This is exactly what this deck wants to be doing. It's just ideally you do it off of an Epic Experiment. I'm gonna Manamorphose, pay this, and we'll add a blue and a green, I guess. Yep. Blue and a green. Boom. You're gonna muddle the mixture, which you could transmute and go. We could go find our Epic Experiment and cast it now. But I'd have grabbed Rise from the Tides. I probably should have played this Aetherflux Reservoir earlier too. I'm gonna do that now. Or we can muddle, or we can Epic Experiment next turn if we want. Then if we don't just win here. How many artifacts these guys have? Literally none. Okay, so we're gonna handle last. We should have been paying attention to our storm count. Let's empty the warrants here. Alright, so we're gonna make a bunch of goblins. Always yield to our Aetherflux Reservoir, which gains us a ton of life. We're already yielding to our Gutter Snipe. So now not only we're gaining tons of life each spell, we're also doming these guys with each spell. I think I might hit this guy for 3 so that I can just Aetherflux him. Oh, I could have just done it for 1. Because the Gutter Snipe thing would have done it. That was super dumb of me. I didn't even need to Devil's Play him. Do we want to do this? Yeah. Oh no, we're out of red mana. No, we got 1. We can still ignite. Okay. That was almost a complete dummy. It's not worth it. It's I think this guy's making a joke here. It's like it's not worth me basically balling out like this. I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible because I hate like making people like wait like this. So we're gonna ignite memories Corey here, and then if we hopefully we just kill him with this, and then we can... Oh, he doesn't have any cards in hand! I'm a moron! Okay, well we're gonna Ignite Memories and Reaper then. Okay, well that's one wasted Ignite Memories, but at least the rest we can reassign. Nothing. Thought Gorger. Okay, we're getting there. We're doing some damage. He's got forests in his hand, though. Oh no, we're hitting the bug. No. I've experienced this before. This is super unfortunate. Basically just runs through the game because Moto broke. Let's see if it's happening these guys too. Do I have a connection issue? Is that what the issue is here? This is crazy though. Let's see if it brings us to the exact point of though. Whenever I send a message it doesn't pop up, so this might take a sec, but let's see. Oh, did Moto just break completely? It's not a connection issue. I know my opponents are waiting for me to respond. Why did this just pause here? You done fucked up. He broke it. Well, I think I had the GG. But regardless, GG guys. Was fun. You know. Okay, well that's unfortunate end to this game. But that is what the deck does, even without Epic Experiment, and I'm glad I got to kind of show that before it bugged out. I was pretty confident we'd win there, because we had this guy down to like 19 and this other guy down here, and we could have probably kept storming until we had enough mana to, or enough life to just shoot both of them with Aetherflux Reservoir. If not, we would have killed them on the Crackback the next turn. We could have transmuted and gotten our Epic Experiment to actually storm off, and we still could have Mind's Desired after that, I believe. And then gone through a ton of our deck as well. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm the Commander Casual, and that's my K&T Epic Experiment Storm deck.